You are now listening to the Fight Horizon podcast, hosted by Dan Rathmanner. Join him on his journey where you will meet people from all walks of life and their connection to jiu-jitsu. Now, with no further delay, let's fight the horizon.
Welcome back to the Fight Horizon podcast. Today we are celebrating the first ever solo podcast I've done. I'm saying we because I've had so much support from my friends and my family, not mentioning the fans. We can all kind of celebrate this podcast as a monumental podcast together as we grow as human beings and just enjoy conversations that we've had. I really wanted to give a shout out to everyone so far that has been on the podcast. You guys really make it what it is, and I really celebrate that. I really want to celebrate that in this podcast. Other than that, I wanted to start off with, kind of how I've been motivated to pursue the dreams, the thoughts, the events that I've wanted to take part in over the period of time that I've been alive. I think this is actually a really good topic to talk about, being that each one of us out there struggles with being motivated. Okay, how to create ourselves, how to not drag ourselves down being motivated. It's even a topic that's talked about is if you're not innerly motivated, if you're not below the surface motivated naturally, then maybe you're not shouldn't be doing what you're doing, and I kind of agree and disagree with that. It is really hard to become motivated, to become naturally motivated, to get up off the bed and not listen to that voice that tells you to get back in it at 5 a.m. in the morning, right? Another thing I kind of wanted to talk about today is a little bit of a goal-setting Western civilization structural way of obtaining success. Okay, in my life I found a sliver of success, and I'm kind of reflect off of that and try to compound it for you guys, right? So that maybe you pick up one thing from this podcast that helps you further your development of whatever pursuit of success you have. So let's get to it. I have tried a very structured, a very westernized, a very scheduled minute by minute. If I complete this hour, if I complete the next hour and the next hour with these tasks, I'm going to be successful. Basically, dumbing it down to structuring every minute so that I complete a task. A good example of this is if I work out an hour before jiu-jitsu, I will be successful. If I work out, or I should say, even if I just go to jiu-jitsu, I would be successful. So there's 2 hours right there, after which if I come home and I do the laundry and I do the dishes, I'm successful that day. What I have found is that success is really tied with emotion. I'm saying success a lot, but the reason I want to kind of use a different word is because success is really defined by yourself, okay? It's defined by your emotions, your thoughts, your environment. The way you think of success needs to have a root cause. Why do I want to be successful? Otherwise, this is just another object that's out there, okay, that can be obtained, can be bought, be bought with time, be bought with money, be bought with effort, be bought with blood, sweat, tears, you name it, okay? But why do I want to be successful? Is it because I want to be loved more? Is it because I want to be happy? Is it because I want freedom? Is it because I think that's what I should be doing in my life? It's a tough question for a lot of us to answer, even when you take a long look in the mirror about that. Success for me, what success means to me, the way I frame my success, is the impact that I make on this world. Okay, and if you guys are a fan of the Fight Horizon podcast, you'll hear me say the phrase, you'll see the splash, but you'll never see the ripples. Okay, what I'm in it for is the ripples. I really would like to make a difference in this world. Where that comes from, a root cause is a belief that what kind of man would I be if I didn't try to better this world? Okay, and I want to become the person that I think or frame uh, myself to be in my head, right, or in my mind. Now, this is kind of like a mindset, a mind track that a lot of you can really explore. But being successful. So why do I want to be successful? Because I want money, right? Not exactly a good answer, right? Not a good answer at all. You really need to come down to the root cause of and kind of one of the more common ones is because I want to be loved, or because I want to have freedom. Those were kind of the main two ones. Um, the saying that I've kind of really hit on a lot lately, and I'm looking through my notes as we go here, is not to chase unicorns. What I mean by that, and it's not my sayings. I've heard it on another podcast that I've been listening to lately, but it really struck a chord with me. Not to chase unicorns. What's a unicorn? I'm going to win the lottery tomorrow. I know the lottery is a big thing on people's minds right now, especially in Wisconsin. I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to become successful because I have all this money, right? That's kind of a unicorn. The probability of you winning the lottery is low. I'm going to wake up and I'm just going to obtain money, okay? The mindset that I really am trying to develop or grow or to cultivate in my mind with this, right? Don't chase unicorns, is to really develop yourself so you can open up yourself to the universe, right? Opening up yourself to the universe, having an even flow, having an even keel, will really, I believe, help you succeed in the areas that you have. Now, what I mentioned before is a very structured, very goal-setting, very do this, 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 and this, and successful. And a lot of people find that successful. A lot of people find success in it, right? They find what they're looking for in it. From what I found is that it's not a goal-setting mindset. Is that what I need? And maybe it's just because I'm a little different than anybody else. This is not going to actually pertain. So the mindset I'm going to describe is not going to pertain to everyone, right? There's not a one answer for everyone's question. As you know, as listeners, life is very gray. It's not black and white sometimes. What I've been trying to do is lay off a bit. I know in the Western civilization, Western culture, you have to do this to be this. You have to do this to be this. You have to do this to be this. You have to complete this to be happy. You have to buy this to be happy. It's very materialistic. There's a lot of pressure on the common person these days. There's a lot of pressure mentally, physically, to look the way you're supposed to look, to be the way you're supposed to be, to act the way you're supposed to act, right? If I take that out, okay, if I take that out of my head, give myself some breathing room, okay? Everyone listening, you can take a deep breath. Really, breathing is an awesome exercise mentally. Actually, what I have been working on lately is called square breathing. Inhaling, counting to 5, holding, counting to 5, exhaling, counting to 5, holding, counting to 5. You kind of see where the name comes from, square breathing, right? Really helps me center my thoughts. So, going back to this structured mindset, laying off, giving myself, my mind, a little bit of room to breathe, It does not give me the pressure of completing this goal this day. It does not give me the pressure of completing this goal in this hour. What I have found is my beliefs, my passions always come to the surface in the long run. Okay? So sticking with what I love is going to be a natural instinct. It shouldn't be rough. It shouldn't be coarse. You shouldn't have to bleed your soul to do what you do every day. You should naturally try to have to find that path, right? Walk that path that really is gonna make you feel successful. And again, what we've mentioned before might not mean money. Okay, it might not mean driving that Mercedes Benz that you've been thinking about, or that Aston Martin, or having that house up in the hills, or it may be having a close knit family. It may be having a very structured training schedule. It may be having the ability to be there for the ones you love. So, what I really want all the listeners, all the fans of the Fight Horizon, Fight fans, as Fight Nation is what I like to call them, to do is really take a deep breath today. Try that square breathing. Again, that's not my technique. I found a lot of success in it, though. Even if it is 2 minutes today, okay, try it. See where your mind goes. See how your thoughts develop after that. And then kind of let your soul guide you to what you want to do that day. And see if you can find little successes. Oh, it worked out harder than I ever thought because I didn't put pressure on myself. I needed to do this many reps in this set. Oh, man, I really nailed the homework. I didn't even notice I studied for 4 hours, Find topics for your mind to travel, okay? It's kind of like a saying I like to use too off the mic is complete your mind's race, right? Now, what I mean by that is your mind every day, especially with the devices of the 21st century, the computer, the laptop, right, the desktop, the cell phone, iPhone, whatever you have. Heck, even these days, people have wearables, right? Watches that tell you the notifications that come onto your phone, right? I just got one. So I really like it, but what we need to do is regulate that. We need to regulate our race and understand that the exercising of our mind is just as important as exercising of our body. In fact, a lot of people call the um, quickest pathway to the mind is through the body. So as long as you exercise the body, you'll exercise determination in your mind, little things here and there. Okay? So exercise your mind as much as you can. A new age way of doing that is meditating. A lot of people on the West Coast, that's a big thing these days. It's being a lot more mainstream. I'd give it a go. Shoot, Google search out on one of those devices that I just talked about. Make sure when you do it, you put all your devices away. That might even be an exercise in itself. Square breathing really helps me with meditating. So, give it a shot, like I mentioned. Something else I want to talk about the other day, I heard, again, I listen to a lot of podcasts now these days, and one other thing I liked, I hung on to, again, this isn't mine, is in the absence of clarity, take action. I don't know about you, the listener, right now, personally. No, I don't know who is listening. But when I get nervous, I overthink. I try to think through an action, a decision, so much that it will take me days just to buy, something on Amazon, something cheap. Okay, when I get nervous, when I worry about money, or worry about if I'm going to have the ability to take care of people at the end of the day. In the absence of clarity, take action. And what that means is in the long run, that action you're going to learn from, was that the right action to take, or was that the wrong action to take? Either way, we're taking action, growing, and evolving. Okay, so these are little things to sum up what we've gone over in the last 15 minutes, 14 and 30 seconds, if anybody's counting, is let's stop. Let's slow down. Let's put our everyday surface thoughts on hold and really understand what we should be doing on this earth. There's a lot of things to be caught up on. In the absence of clarity, take action. Sitting here on a beautiful Saturday morning recording my first ever solo podcast. This is a monumental moment. This is something I definitely wanted to share with the fight fans. I've actually researched a little bit of topics, quotes, some poetry to kind of base off what I wanted to talk about today. And one thing that, again, that helps me stop and think a little bit and take action, and I've heard it in multiple speeches, multiple podcasts, multiple research articles that I've read, is gratitude exercise every day. And this actually changes a lot of how I think about things, what I think about. And if you do it right off in the morning, it actually works very, very, very well. Again, not my exercise, something I've found successful. I wanted to share with you guys. Gratitude exercise, sitting down, standing up, closing your eyes open, however you guys are comfortable with it. A lot of these exercises are flexible, and that's what I really like about it. Okay, for a minute, 2 minutes, whatever you'd like, think about what you're grateful for in your life. Okay, for me, that's my family, my friends, my girlfriend. She's kind of covered in the first two. But try not to focus on material things. All right? Try not to think about, I'm grateful for having my car. Think about, I'm grateful for having a vehicle so I can go see my family and friends. Think about, I'm grateful for my house or my apartment that I have because it's great, because it's got white granite countertops and it's got these cabinets and it's 3,000 square feet, 4,000 square feet, 5,000 square feet, whatever it is. Think about, I'm grateful to have a roof over my head, or I'm thankful for having a place where I can gather my friends. Okay. Somebody once told me, Greg, and if you're listening, Greg Hernandez, shout out. This was something that I remembered when you told it to me, and I hope I remember it word for word here. But it's not the size of the kitchen that you have, it's who you fill that kitchen with. Meaning, how you share your life, not what you obtain by it. The person you become, not the end result. Okay, so the end result's not the person who I become. The end result's like a brand new big kitchen. The person that you become on the journey of the path is what I'm really trying to speak about. The person that shares time with the loved ones, the family members, the friends, everyone. Okay, so live your life with purpose. Slow down. Don't put pressure on yourselves. Another quote, and I know I'm sharing a lot of quotes here, but another quote that I really like by, I hope they pronounce this correctly, Heraclitus, or Heraclitus, I'm sorry. Man is most nearly himself when he achieves the seriousness of a child at play. I'll say it again. Man is most nearly himself when he achieves the seriousness of a child at play. This quote is perfect. This is a beautiful thing for me to run into, for me to share it with you. Okay, I'm excited. This is exactly the point I'm trying to get across. We are most near ourselves when we are focused and naturally do the things we love. Okay? Example, for me, I love talking to people. Okay? I don't always love talking to people. No. But when I achieve the seriousness of a child at play, okay, that means I am relaxed. I'm going with the flow, right? I am talking to you like a human being, solid to solid. You know, it's fun, and when you find it, you'll know. When I am doing jujitsu, I feel naturally like a child at play. Okay, I look at jujitsu as a physical challenge, but above that, a mental exercise out of everything. I'm not rolling. I'm not sparring. I'm not fighting with the person in the physical aspect. I'm fighting against myself mentally. Okay. Now, what does that mean? I'm trying to fight my own fears. Fear, 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 fear. Big thing. Big word. Doesn't have to be, though. The way you structure things in your mind can help you flow with the way you deal with the physical realm. Everyone knows that. I just put a couple fancy words around it. The way we build fear in our mind, the way we say we can't to ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves does not help us find that child at play, does not find us near ourselves. What I love about this quote, man is most nearly himself when he achieves the seriousness of a child at play. Think of a child at play. A lot of you have children. Young children, do they feel fear when they're playing? It's almost like there's no fear because they're not aware of it. In this world, fear is built into us over time, and it was used evolutionarily for our ancestors to stay alive, right? Good example of that is if I'm looking out the window and it's the most beautiful sunset, but I see a plane in the sky. It moves. My eye is naturally drawn to that plane because it's movement, right? In that sense, I want to look at the sunset. Sunset, sunrise, a nice landscape, whatever you guys want to picture, but my eye's still going to be drawn to that plane in the sky. Okay? My point is, naturally, evolutionarily, my eyes are drawn to movement because when we were evolving, obviously, movement helped us. You know, when we were in the forests, the deserts, the tundras, you name it, we saw movement. It was other animals to eat or other animals eating that were going to be in the process of trying to eat us. Okay? So evolutionarily, fear is built into us. Okay? I'm not saying control it, bury it down. Fear is very useful as a motivator. What I want you to do when you're trying to motivate yourself by fear is be with it. Understand it. This is where jujitsu comes in fine. I am in a very bad position. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Okay? Use that fear. Face that fear. Love that fear because that's what's going to become your springboard. It's what's going to make you better as a person and as a human being. Person in a society and a human being. Other things I wanted to touch on today. I hope all of you are enjoying your day and this first ever solo podcast. Other things I wanted to touch on today was really who we're kind of living for. Decisions are made for a lot of reasons in this life, okay, by a lot of human beings for a lot of different reasons. I want you to analyze a lot of the decisions you're making today. I want you to analyze why you're making a lot of these decisions today. Hopefully you'll run into one that actually underlies a root cause of a series of decisions that you lived in your life, okay? Meaning, are you living your life for you or someone else? That's a huge question. There's no way you're going to be able to answer that question today. But I want you to understand it a little bit and try to work at it, chip away at it every day. So, we are coming up on 25 minutes of my first ever solo motivational podcast. I'm loving this. I really appreciate it that you guys are listening. But I want to do more, okay? I have fun doing this. If you have any suggestions for the new solo podcasts that I want to be doing that are coming out, shoot me a message on Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram, hit me up on Facebook. Even email me, fighthorizon at gmail.com. So it's Fight Horizon with an S instead of a Z, at gmail.com. You can shoot me an email. I'm very, very responsive. I'm even more responsive on Instagram, or just even visit fighthorizon.com and leave a comment on this article for this podcast. But guys, I appreciate you listening. Again, thank you for all the support. Thank you for being there, allowing me to do this. Have a wonderful day, and I'm out.
Thank you for listening. Please like and share Fight Horizon on Facebook, follow on Instagram, and drop by fighthorizon.com for more episode details, deals, and show dynamics. Like always, fight the horizon.